Good morning and thanks so much for joining in. You're watching Ask Profit. My name is Alex Mathew. With me is Smriti Chaudhary, and we'll take you through the next half an hour or so of trade. Like the name suggests, this show is aimed at getting you answers to all of your stock-related questions, and so if you have them, send them to us on the WhatsApp number on your screen, or in fact on any one of our social media platforms. Let's very quickly take you through how the markets are looking right now. And you have the benchmark Nifty 50 that's trading in a range. It's up about 0.1% or so at this juncture, and it has traded in a very narrow range today. And the broader markets more or less reflecting that as well. At least the mid-cap index is. It's just about flat right now. You have the small cap index that's trading with cuts of about 0.5% at this juncture. In terms of the key indices that are moving in trade today, it's the energy pack as a whole that's in focus, which is up about 1.6%. In fact, a lot of the power companies in focus, and they're gaining quite a bit in trade today. You have oil and gas, which is also about 1.4% higher, and you have pharma as a pack that is also doing reasonably well. Among the losers, you have the media index that's down about 1.6%, and it's the worst performer sectorally. You have the IT index that's also lower by about 0.5%, and metals are a little bit under pressure. But interestingly, you have a couple of counters that are related to the metal index that are doing quite well, or metal sector that are doing quite well. Those are the graphite manufacturers. HEG as well as graphite are up and about in trade today. But we're focusing on a different set of stocks in trade today, and that has to do, Smriti, with the wind companies, right?
Right, yes. We are seeing some downtick in wind stocks, and if you look at some specific names, you look at Suzlon, that's down about 4.5%, Orient Green down 3%, Sterling Wilson down about 1.5%, Inox is down 5%, both the stocks, Inox Wind and Wind Energy as well. But we have Varsha joining in to tell us a little bit more about this and why the stocks are down today.
So hi Smriti, so if you see, as you rightly pointed out, wind energy stocks are under pressure. So Inox Wind is down 5%, Sangvi Movers is also down 7%, and KP Energy is down almost 5%. Now according to some media reports, Ministry had decided to bring back reverse bidding as wind tariffs have risen in auction. Now Ministry had sent letters to the agencies for the same. Now this is on the back of undersubscription and higher tariff discovery in recent wind bids. So if you see, there are, just to give you in context, there are two types of bidding. One is reverse and the other is closed bidding. Under reverse auction method, bidders continue to bid against each other after the initial bids are open and until a bid tariff goes unchallenged by a counter bid. Now, incidentally, the ministry had given up this reverse auction method at the beginning of this financial year. This method did bring down the tariff, but the problem was company had a lot of inventory that they sold off the inventory at very low prices, which led to poor capacity installation, which affected the wind industry as a whole. So the reverse auction then was given up and closed bidding system was adopted, post which tariff did rose. Now NDTV Profit did spoke with management of Inox Wind in Q2 FY24, where he said was that last time this was a problem as everyone had excess inventory and sector was not doing well, but now situation is different. Government has target and company don't have excess inventory. So according to him, this shouldn't affect the industry as a whole, but we are seeing pressure on this stock, so let's see what happens.
All right, thank you Varsha for that. On that note, let me introduce you to the guests for today. We have Gaurang, Shah of Geojit Financial Services and Rajesh Palviya of Axis Securities joining in. Welcome to both of you. Now, Gaurang, you heard Varsha talk about how energy companies may bring back reverse bidding. Of seeing that the street is not taking positively to it. But how are you viewing this development to play out for these energy stocks?
Thank you, Smriti, for having me on the show, and morning to all of you all. So, power generation, power transmission, and power equipment, all these sectors are going to go through a major changes because of the new power capacities that is going to come up in the next 3 to 5 years. What I have been given to understand is somewhere close to about anywhere between 350 to 500 gigawatts is the new capacity lined up. This is the initial part. As we go forward, there will be more capacities that will be added. So definitely power generating companies are going to be benefited, whosoever is present in the solar or wind energy. We do have positive coverage, Smriti, on some of the companies which are also into conventional and also into solar as well as wind. We are also positive on power transmission and distribution companies, power equipment companies, because all these things will go together. It's not like one single sector is going to perform. So in the power generation, we are positive on Tata Power, NTPC, and CESC. We don't cover stocks like Suzlon or the rest of the, down the line small cap or micro cap companies. We are positive on power transmission and distribution, and hence we have a positive coverage on power grid. In power equipments, we are positive on company like KEC International, L&T, Siemens, etc., because they are into making of power equipments which enable transmission process from manufacturing to the end user. So my sense is that being invested in fundamentally sound companies from a long-term point of view will make a lot of difference rather than going in for small and micro cap companies.
Got it. All right. Gaurang, good morning to you and good morning to Rajesh as well. It's time to jump into the queries. We've got Amit Murkutev, who's writing in from Mumbai, who's got the first question today, and he's asking about a couple of counters, different sectors, of course. Hindustan Zinc is one and Bata India is the other. He's asking if these two are good buys at the current levels for a period of 2 years. I'll come to you, Rajesh, on the technicals of this one, of these two counters. Do they look interesting to you?
See, Bata is in downtrend, and since last couple of months, we are seeing that continuous supply pressure is taking place in the stock. Stock is making lower top, lower bottom formation on the daily chart. Stock now slipped below to all its near-term, short-term as well as long-term moving averages. So trend is still on the weaker side, though stock is attempting to show some pullback action from its recent swing low. But still, it's failed to cross above 1450, 1460. That's the immediate supply zone for Bata at this moment. Until the stock not crosses above 1460, 1470 level on a weekly closing basis, trend is likely to remain on the weaker side, and we may see further more supply. So I think Bata, I think he should avoid at this moment for trading perspective, as structure is on the weaker side. Hindustan Zinc is consolidating again in the consolidation mode. If we analyze the longer term time frame, almost it's consolidating in a same price range of 330 to 300. That's the price range since last 8 to 10 months. And still stock not manages to give breakout above 330 kind of zone on a closing basis. So once stock crosses above 330, yes, he may look to buy this stock. Then possible really we can see on the higher side towards 380, even 400 kind of zone in Hindustan Zinc. So at this moment, if he wish to buy and accumulate, then he can keep stop loss of 290 to buy and accumulate the stock. On the breakout above 330, he can add more positions.
All right, understood. Next up, we have a question from Mansi, and they're talking about two counters, Oberoi Realty that they bought at 1518 and SJVN that they bought at 147. I think both the stocks are below, were bought at elevated prices, Gaurang. Now, we've seen realty sector, Oberoi Realty is also up over 1% as we speak. Based on these two stocks, what's the long-term view for both of them?
Firstly, let me speak about the real estate sector, because this sector was down and out, bad boy of the market. Lot of high beta movements in all the counters, whether it is Oberoi Realty, whether it is Prestige Estates, whether it is Shobha Limited, whether it is DLF, or whether it is Godrej Properties. But then a lot of changes came into this sector because of the government policy, and RERA brought in a lot of discipline which was missing. On Oberoi Realty, we had a buy recommendation earlier, but in the recent run-up, the targets that we had set aside were achieved, and hence we have given out book profits or sell recommendation on Oberoi Realty. This is not only restricted to Oberoi Realty, even on Godrej Properties, we have similarly, because our targets were met, we have given out book profits or sell recommendation. Though having said that, I think lower levels can be revisited in terms of long-term investment ideas, provided you have the numbers encouraging you to take a long-term call on the counters. And I'm quite sure today itself, I think One of the companies that came out with a record sales is Signature Global. This is not a recommendation. I'm just quoting a news item that I read this morning. So there is a lot of appetite for new properties, be it residential or commercial. But in the immediate short to medium term, the valuation looks a little bit stretched. On SJVN, unfortunately, we don't have a coverage.
Then let me very quickly ask Rajesh what's the view on SJVN is on the technicals. Rajesh, what's the view?
So, Alex, stock is after the correction, stock is consolidating and holding the ground around its important support area of 115. That's the important and critical support area of this corrective move. If it breaks below 115, then we may see furthermore, extended supply pressure, and then possible we can see lower target towards 100 kind of level also. So, at this moment, I think he may hold the position with stop loss of 115. If stock manages to cross above 130 mark, then yes, possible we can see a rally towards 145 to 150 kind of zone in the stock in the short-term basis. But looking at the near-term short-term structure, we see that it may take time as stock is showing a long consolidation kind of behavior at this moment. So I think it may take time. If he can remain invested for some longer period, then yes, keep stop loss of 115 to hold position.
All right, let's get the next question in, and this is on Tata Rail. I'm just pulling up the share price as we speak. It's currently at about 940 or thereabouts, and we've got a viewer that is Shri Kishore Sharma writing in from Motihari, Bihar, that is bought at levels of 225. Now, that's quite the buy price. And the question is, Gaurang, what the prospects are for the next couple of years. This is, of course, part of a pack that has gained quite significantly on the back of the government's push for expansion in the space.
Absolutely. So I'll comment on the sector, Alex, for the benefit of the viewers and this investor. My sense is that with the kind of changes that the Rail Ministry and Government India is bringing into the Indian Railways to resolve the last mile connectivity issue, is going to augur extremely well, not only for those companies which are government companies associated with Indian Railways, but also private sector companies which are associated with Indian Railways. So is going to be the case that you have huge opportunity in terms of orders coming in, whether it is going to do with upgradation of wagons, it is going to do with laying new railway tracks, or whether it is going to do with changes of passenger coaches, improving the speed of the train, etc., etc. My sense tells me that for the next 3 to 5 years, if you invested in railway-related stocks, then I think it's going to be a great opportunity.
Next up, we have a question on YouTube. This one's from Sid. And this is specifically for Rajesh. They've specifically mentioned to take this to you. This is on GPPL, Gujarat Pipav, and they've not mentioned the buy price, but they want to know the mid to long term view on this. So what are the charts showing on this specific counter, and if there are any levels you should watch out for?
So we have seen already there is a breakout happened in the stock, and looking at the overall structure for short to medium term perspective, we believe that if stocks continues to hold above 195 200 kind of level, then there is a high possibility we can see again resumption of rally in the stock. Once the stock crosses about 218 level, then possible target in very short period of time we can see towards 250 to 260. So that's the immediate target which we can see on the short term basis. But if we wish to hold it for longer term perspective, so I think this stock has potential to again reach to its previous all-time high trajectory also, as overall structure is looking bullish, and on the monthly chart stock also showing strength. So we believe that one should hold the position with stop loss of 195. Possible target we can see in short term towards 250 260 also.
Fair point. All right, we have to slip into a very quick break. Viewers as well as gentlemen, do stay with us. We'll be back very quickly.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. Let's quickly jump into the questions. The first one is from Srimati Sridharan on YouTube. They're talking about BLS Services. They bought the stock at 316 a piece, and let's pull up the chart and see where the stock. Yeah, it's about 369 as we speak. It's down about 2.5%. Rajesh, on this stock, what are the key levels that you should watch out for?
So this is recently listed stock, and we have very limited data to analyze this stock. But whatever data we have, that clearly shows that on the downside, the immediate support area is at around 350 level. So that level needs to watch on the near-term perspective. If it breaks below 350, then we may see further more profit booking in the counter, and then it may slide further towards 320 level also. On the higher side, 400 is likely to act as a immediate supply zone on the higher side. If it stops crosses those level, then possible again buying interest we may see in the stock, and then stock can rally further higher from the current level. So 400 is the key resistance, and 350 is the immediate support area.
All right, Gaurang, interesting question for you. Mohit from Ludhiana is talking about State Bank of India, which he's bought at levels of 184. Now, obviously, given the buy price, you can assume that he's bought quite a while back. He's got 1,000 shares. COVID lows. So 1,000 shares of SBI. The stock is currently trading at 771. He's looking for an outlook for the next 5 years. What is the kind of upside that you would expect?
This is really a difficult one, Alex, to answer very straight off. So let me give this reply. Bro, you got it at 180. The stock is at about 780. You got 1,000 shares. At least do this. First of all, we have a positive coverage. Let me give a disclosure from a long-term point of view. And I think the targets that we had set aside, Alex, we have discussed State Bank of India many times, was 740 or 760 or thereabouts. Today's share price, the first target is already in place. So, do as the small thing, sell about 100 shares. You will bring in whatever you have invested and a decent amount of profit. The balance 900 shares will be of zero cost, which will leave you with a lot of elevated risk appetite because you will not be putting in any money. It's a zero cost valuation. On fallback of earning visibility, my sense is that the public sector banks' difference in terms of underperformance compared to the private banks is now a thing of the past. I think fourth quarter numbers are just round the corner, Alex. We'll wait for the fourth quarter numbers to come through. But as of now, we have a positive coverage of State Bank of India. Given the price that he's bought it, he can book profit in 100 shares, bring in whatever he's put in and some profit, and make the remainder costless.
All right, got it. Next up, we have a question from Amit Rastogi, and this one's on Inox Wind Energy. While we've discussed the fundamentals of this as part of focus, Rajesh, Amit bought the stock at 5,500 levels, and they want to know the selling range for this particular stock.
Smriti, you're talking about Inox Wind?
Wind Energy.
Yeah, only sellers in the stock right now.
It's down about 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah. It will be delivered to me today or tomorrow.
Sorry.
So it's at lower circuit at this moment.
Yes.
And now stock is now trading almost near to its 20-day moving average, which is placed at around 550 kind of zone. If it's continues to hit these kind of furthermore supply pressure, we can see furthermore supply pressure likely to continue, as Inox Wind is also at lower circuit. Inox Wind Energy is also at a lower circuit. So I think these stocks are under pressure since last couple of trading session, and we can see furthermore a down move. So as he has bought at lower price, so I think he can now keep stop loss at around 63.50. That's the immediate level he can keep in eye. If that level breaks, then he should book the whatever profit is left with the stock. So 6350 needs to be keep as a stop loss if he's already holding these positions.
Coming back to you, Rajesh, on this next one, Tata Steel, we've got a question coming from Rajesh Maheshwari. He's asking about this counter. He's bought 2,800 at an average price of 105.5. He's looking for the short to medium term outlook. What level should he look at?
So whole metal basket is showing good traction, and Tata Steel, after very long period, stock managed to give breakout of this consolidation range. If we analyze on the longer term time frame, after almost a consolidation of 2 year, stock managed to give this breakout. So looking at this breakout in the previous week, and the stock is sustaining above 148 level. That's the immediate level and important level for the stock at this moment. If it's hold above 148 level for some more couple of trading session, then possible follow-up really we can see towards 160 to 165 for trading perspective. And if you can hold for further more longer period, then possible target we can see towards 180 also in the stock. So 148 needs to keep as a stop loss as he has bought recently. That's the important and critical level for Tata Steel now.
All right, got it. Next up, we have a question from Shrikant, and this one's on Vascon Engineering. They bought the shares at 87 a piece, and they bought 555 shares for this. They want to know if they should sell the stock. If you look at the stock, it's down about 1.5% as we speak at around 74, so below the buy price here. Rajesh, what are the key levels that you should watch out for, and would you suggest selling at this juncture?
The stock now slipped below to its 20-day, 50-day moving average, and moving average crossover is also suggesting that we may see further more pressure in the stock. So I think he may try to exit the stock as on the higher side. 82 is the key supply zone at this moment. Until the stock not crosses those level, stock may remain under pressure only. Even in the recent fall, stock is now approaching to its previous swing low also, that is at around 72 kind of level. If it breaks below 72, then we may see further more extended supply pressure towards 65 kind of zone. So I think he may try to exit the position as the trend is on the near term as well as on the short term is on the weaker side, and we may see further more pressure in the stock in coming trading sessions.
Got it. Coming back to you, Rajesh, on the option strategy that you would suggest for ITC. This is a question coming from Abhishek, and he's looking for the target to pay attention to with regard to the March expiry.
See, if we analyze the overall structure for ITC, stock is in very tight consolidation range. Since last couple of week, we are seeing that stock is moving in very limited price action. So looking at the overall structure, we believe that till stock not crosses above 420, there won't be any traction we will see in the March series itself. But looking at near-term, short-term structure, if you wish to buy a call option, as stock has already shown some consolidation action, some momentum is there in FMCG pack. So we believe that at this moment he should look to buy at the money call option, that is at trading at 410 call option, that is trading at around 9 rupees 90 paisa. That call option he can keep because looking at the consolidation, we believe that 400 needs to keep as a stop loss for this option. He should place a stop loss at around 4 rupees. And if at all stock crosses above 420, then possible target for this option, he may get around 18 rupees to 20 rupees. So keep stop loss of 4 rupees to buy 410 call option for ITC for this March series. Already consolidation has been done. So there is a high possibility that, stock may attempt to give some pullback from current level.
All right, got it. Now, unfortunately, we're completely out of time. Thank you so much, Gaurang and Rajesh, for joining and for answering questions for us. And viewers, if you were not able to take your questions today, we'll definitely try and take them tomorrow. But stay tuned, lots more coming up on NDTV Profit.
Markets trade flat, opening at record highs. Sensex trades at